Well, Shaun, that was by no means easy, but I guess when you grind them out like that, it makes it all the more satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, these types of results, the performances like today, they are as satisfying as the 5-0ers. They really are, and that was such an hard game. A real dogged, hard game. Fought by two, sides that are high on confidence and didn't want to give an inch this afternoon, and I think you saw that with the closeness of the encounter.
Talk about resilience, because you showed resilience in the first half to take that opening lead, and then to concede in the way you did so early after half-time. It took a great deal of resilience to come back from that as well. Yeah,
mental frame, mental mindset. It was a horrible reaction to the half-time. We didn't want to come out and give the goal away, especially in that manner. Disappointed in the manner in which we gave it away. But I'm delighted, absolutely delighted with the way that we managed the next 45-50 minutes afterwards. It was a pretty intense second half, and we scored a fantastic finish with Piero. But it was fine lines, real fine lines all afternoon.
I guess obviously the last few 3 or 4 weeks, we've seen a number of stand-up performers scoring quite a number of high-quality goals, but in games like this, you see different players, the likes of Brad Halliday at right back, performing excellently out there, and the likes of Max Clark even when he came on to get his turn when he needed to.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Max. Max came on, and so did young Maris, and I felt they made a difference. Max settled us down in the middle of the park, and Maris just found little pockets that, when the game opens up the way it did in the final 15 minutes, we felt that he was the right person to come on the pitch at that time. But you mentioned Brad Halliday. I think if there was one standout performer this afternoon, it must have been Brad. He covered every single blade of grass, but he had a lot of quality to go with it as well. And he's growing by the week. There's a number of young players that are playing for us, coupled with the senior guys, I know that. But for us at this moment in time, I suppose the output of energy that we're putting into games is brilliant for us.
In terms of the winning goal for Piero, got obviously a touch of fortune in terms of the way it came off the goalkeeper, but you earned that fortune. Uche obviously put the pressure on the keeper to force that situation.
Absolutely, we felt at that, that period of time, we felt that we could gain an advantage by putting the ball in the box. We did. It was a decent delivery from Greg Taylor, and then, the little man's pops up with a bit of quality, and he's shown that earlier on the season in terms of his finishing, and he got his reward today because he put in another dogged performance for us on the right. And sometimes the little man goes unnoticed, but we all know what he's capable of doing, and the fans and the players and the management alike all really respect what Piero brings to the team. So for him to be the match winner today, I think is fitting.
In terms of another outstanding performance from another group of people, the supporters, I watched at the start of the game, there was a little sort of nod of admiration at the start of the game with the numbers and the passion from that end of the ground.
Well, we knew we'd travel in numbers. We travelled with numbers here last year, and we didn't feel we'd done the fans justice last year. So for us to leave the Lamex this afternoon with the points, going back to Cambridge, looking forward to the 31st when we go and play Leyton Orient away, to go look over your shoulder and see so many fans partaking in that long, the short journey. But when you consider how much money spent over Christmas as well, it's unbelievable, and I'm really thankful for that. Really thankful.
Just finally, that's 5 wins in a row in the league. It's an excellent run of form, but I guess you won't be taking it sort of one step at a time still, and just looking at the next game only. No,
we're not out of December yet. We're not out of the period, so we need to make sure that we get our minds quickly focused on Leyton Orient away. It's there, we've gone in, we've enjoyed the win, we've spoke about it. I want us to enjoy tonight. Tomorrow we'll be back in for training, and looking forward for Leyton Orient away.